Welcome in. This is Brett from Grandpa's Treasure Shop here with another Market Watch, fresh up out the Shadow Realm. Today, we got a lot of interesting things happening in the market. Without further ado, we're just going to hop right into this. So, these Regenesis cards have been getting a lot of hype lately. They were hype on pre release and they didn't really do a whole lot. But now, let's look at this. So we see the pre-sale prices almost $30 for Regenesis, and then it tanks, goes down to 13.24, creeps up a bit, back down. Like it went all the way up to 20 and then back down to like 14 something. Now it creeps back up and then it goes back down. Right now it's on the downtrend, but people are coming in and snatching these up. So today is the 29th. Look at this. People are coming in. This is just today, y'all. People are flooding the market to get this card while it's cheap. And right now we see the chart. We see the chart, y'all. It is literally on the downswing again. What's going to happen? This is going to go back up, y'all. So if you ask me, and this is not official financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only and solely based off my opinion alone. But we are very fond of watching the market based on what we do here at Grandpa's Treasure Shop. And look at this. If we're looking at some of the reputable sellers, you can get this card right now for like $14, a little over. But then it quickly goes to 15. We do have 8 solid pages of this, but we all know how buyouts work. There's a wall of China with Gamer's Choice, but I mean, based on the sales volume and people need like probably I think 3. I don't really watch the meta per se, just the market. But yeah. And then we go to page 2. Let's see what's going on with page 2. At the bottom of the page, it goes to 17. And then page 3. This card all the way up, it's close to 19. And then, yeah, as we creep on, I know it starts to slowly go up to about 20 by page 5. So yeah, that's the first card I wanted to cover today because right now it's on the downswing. So if you guys, are just looking to, start like an investment binder, hold some cards, and kind of, if you pay attention to the market like me, this is a solid option right now, worth snatching up. Next, we're going to talk about Malice P. Marcher. This card, man, people don't know what's going on with this card. All I know is pre-sale pricing was like 90 bones, bro. And then it creeps down, goes up a little bit, and then it's just been on the downward swing. If we're looking at this chart, and me being someone who's familiar with these charts, right now it's on the downward swing, and it's starting to slowly creep up. If you ask me, we're looking at about $37.69. I do not think this is a terrible buy-in price for this card. Me personally, I'm not going to buy at this price. But if we're looking at the data, the charts alone, it's starting to curve. It's starting to. So if you ask me, based on just what I know with the charts, I don't think this is a bad time to start picking this up. I know me personally, I would wait till I see about 35 or less. That's just me. But also could miss that window too. But yeah, so that's just another one that we've been watching on the Market Watch. Next, we are going to talk about Charmy Meows, bro. Listen, this card, I knew this card was going to have so much potential because why? Malice. Malice alone. I mean, we saw Perulia already got its reprint, even though the Ultra is hard to get. Regardless, it did get a reprint. And then we see Fualos got mass reprinted in Stampede. Charmy Meows. Malice is still around in the format. This card only has 1 printing. Look at the chart. People are coming in. Sure, it might be on the downward swing, but if you're looking to get this card right now, you're talking almost $70 for this card. When we sold them, because we always get the sets 2 days before release, and then we have them up on our, eBay ready to go. We were selling this card we started off with $59.99. We had them up for a few days. They didn't sell, surprisingly. Dropped it down to $54.99. and they just all went. I think we had like 4 or 5 of them. They were gone, like just wiped out. Now we're looking at $70 almost. That's just crazy. So if you're asking what to do with this card, I'd be getting rid of this card. It could go up more though. So it depends on what kind of tolerance you have as an investor. If you're trying to run up your purchasing power, then yes, I would say offload this. If you're a little more conservative, not you already have purchase power ready to go, then yeah, it might be worth just waiting to see if this card hits like 75, 80, even higher. I think this card could hit triple figures, possibly. Possibly. No, I'm not a, what do they call that? Where I have the crystal ball. I can't predict the future, but I just know the charts, man. And this is on a downward swing. Sure, this could come down a little bit more, but then it's going to go back up. That's how it works. That's how it works in the Yu-Gi-Oh market. Next, we're going to talk about Gordian Slicer, y'all. This card right here, I think $10, $11, 12, 10 to 12 bucks is not a bad buy-in price. If I was on the other side of the screen, I would be picking up 3 of these right now just to have. Because what happens if this card becomes relevant in the meta and then you're missing your window, because this card easily could hit $20, $30. So if we're talking about 10 to 12 bucks, this card is totally worth it. Bare minimum, at least get one and get you some exposure. You drop, let's say $12 on this card, and then let's just say I'm right, and it does go up to 30, 40 bucks or even 50. Even just having one copy or getting some exposure. So, the chart, it's at the low. It's at the low. But we all know how the Yu-Gi-Oh market works. This card has one printing. It's still new from Alliance Insight. Give it another month or two and we see a huge curvature. And that's just a educated guess. Next, we're going to talk about Songs of the Dominators. This is a card that I've just been hyping up since it came out because the prices have been so low. Like, look at this. Same thing as Gordian Slicer. Oh, yo, that's my local card shop. Let's go. Shout out to them, like, yeah. But anyway, so we're talking about $11, $12 for Songs of the Dominators. But we all know the impulse cards. This goes hand in hand with the impulse cards. This is basically like support for like the impulse cards is like a small little engine piece or something. But nonetheless, we all remember what happened with like Dominus Impulse. That card reached triple figures. Now, if there's any deck where this card becomes viable, or we see even just one copy of this in a top cut or something, this card is going to go crazy. And what do I mean by crazy? It could have a similar impact as Dominus Impulse. This card could hit like $50 to $100. We never know. All I do know is this chart right here. And this chart, this card fell off a cliff, yo. And what does this mean? It's going to go back up. I don't really see it getting much lower than this. I mean, I could be wrong. But even if it does, it's going to circle back, y'all. And when it does circle back, this is one of those type of cards that doesn't have a reprint. This card is likely to be money. Like, that's if you ask me. But yeah, this is one that I heavily believe in. But so keep that one on your radar. And then we're going to talk about Primite Dragon Ether Barrel. Yo, this card is a card. People are still, to this day, coming in to snatch these up. We talking yesterday. We got 2 buyers that came in and snatched up play sets. What does this tell us as, on the other side of the buyer's market? People are buying play sets of this. People don't just need one. People need 3 of these cards. Why this card is still $30? I have no idea. I know when we offloaded them, they were around 50, like just shy of 50, and they sold for $49.99. We may have sent a 10% offer regardless. Right now, this card's $30. And if some of the latest Yu-Gi-Oh news, then you know that Dark Magician is going to be getting support. What is one of the best engines that could help facilitate the Dark Magician engine? Prime Dragon Ether Barrow, Lordly Load. We all know Lordly Load is getting a reprint in Battle of Legends. Like, this card, if this card does not get a reprint, guess what's going to happen? Sure, Lordly Load, people are going to be coming in to snatch those up, but this card just does not get a reprint, which I don't think is that likely. They're already reprinting Lordly Load from the same set. What is the likelihood they're going to do this one too? Not very high, if you ask me. That's just my educated guess. I think this card definitely has $50 potential or more. This card could hit like 80, like call me crazy, but we've seen this happen before. Like, man, this is one of those cards. It's weird. People need it though. People need this card. Sure, Blue Eyes is falling out of favor a little bit, but Dark Magician, yo, people need this for that, the new support. Then we're going to talk about Nibiru, the all art, yo. This is one of those cards that we've been watching on the Market Watch. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but look at this chart, man. Look at the chart. Yeah, I've been predicting this card is going to hit $100. Like, it's getting there, yo. It's getting there. It's already 80. Last time we talked about this card, I'm pretty sure this was like the buy-in price. It was like 69 to 72 or something like that. But yeah, there's only 2 pages of this. At the bottom of the first page, we see $149.99 plus $5 shipping. That is just bonkers, yo. Yo, I think this card, even at $80, I don't think is a terrible buy-in price. Sure, a lot of the pros in the game on YouTube have talked about how they don't really like this one. It don't matter. It really don't matter. What does matter is the market and scarcity. This card is a one-of-a-kind quarter century secret rare from quarter century Stampede. What happens in 2 months when Stampede starts drying up and you can't, it's not as easy to get? We all saw what happened with Bonanza, where boxes right now, like, man, I just gotta show you guys real quick. Quarter century Bonanza. This is just kind of wild, yo. Let's look at a box of Bonanza. One box of Bonanza, we're talking $154.89. Yo, if you find these mini boxes at your Walmart, you came up. I wouldn't even crack them at this point. I would just, man. Anyway, so yes, no. Back to Nibiru. You don't think Stampede's gonna have the same kind of effects? Come on, man. What happens when Stampede is in the same place Bonanza's in right now? This card could be $150. Is $80 a good buy-in price? Heck yeah, if you ask me. And tying into that, let's talk about the effect veiler. I've been saying the same thing about this and Nibiru. I think this art is clean. That's just me. Like, the old other art's been out for a hot minute now. This is a one-of-a-kind quarter century secret rare that is a in-demand hand trap. People play effect veiler. Like, it don't matter what deck it is half the time, as long as it's a meta deck and they need hand traps. I think this card has $100 potential, especially once Stampede starts to dry up a little bit. Like, sure, this one has 5 pages, so they appear to not be as scarce, but they are, trust me. But yeah, I mean, even that, look at Call by the Grave. This card is just like an abomination. It's an abomination. Like, that's the best word I could think to describe this card. Right now, it's on the upward trend again. Like, $80 for this card, y'all. Come on now. And Called By has been mass printed. This is a one-of-a-kind quarter-century secret rare. You don't think Nibiru and Effect Veiler are going to have the same effect? This ain't even the peak potential of this Called By the Grave. Am I a fan of this art? Not really. I'm just being honest. It don't matter what I think. The chart is all that matters. It never lies. Numbers don't lie. But yeah, there's only 3 pages of this. I think all these one-of-a-kind all arts from Stampede, most, I should say, are good investments. And even Sky Striker Ace Ray, we all know what happened. What was it, like 3 or 4 months ago when Sky Striker got a top at a regional, not even a YCS, at a regional, y'all. and all the Sky Strikers cards just started going up. That was like, I want to say like a month or two after Bonanza came out or something like that. All the stuff in Bonanza started going up with the Sky Strikers, like the Engage, like all of that. Yo, what happens when Sky Strike? The same thing happens, and it gets a top, whether it's a YCS or a regional, and all the Sky Striker fans start getting excited, like, oh, the deck could be good again, blah 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 blah. Like, this card right here could hit a hundo, very easy, y'all. Bro, Sky Striker players do not play. Sure, this has 6 pages, but people need 3 rays. If they're trying to get matching rarities, matching artworks, they're gonna come snatch up 1, 2, 3, and then boom, we're at 54, 55 ish. Somebody comes snatch that up, boom, we go to the bottom of the page. We talking like $56, $57. Okay, look, I'm just curious what page 2 looks like. Bottom of page 2 doesn't change too much, but then page 3, we're looking at over $60. What happens when you start to dry up? Sky Striker players go crazy and just start doing their thing. This card is hitting over $100, like peaking maybe 300. I don't know if it's gonna hit that high. Could though. It could, especially in a matter of a few years when Stampede dries up. This card is gonna be so hard to get. Next, we're going to talk about the Cash Tira cards. This is another one. If you've been following the Market Watch, you know, we've been talking a lot about this card. Before we dive too far in deep with the Cash Tira cards, we're just going to take a quick moment to do a little halftime break. You know, I just want to say thank all you guys for watching. You know, I've been wanting to do Market Watches for a while, and I'm so glad that we started doing this at Grandpa's Treasure Shop because we already watch the market all the time anyway. You know, we do have so much respect for Konami, and, you know, we do have our eBay store, you know, where we, you know, get cases. We're here to provide for the community. That's where we have a lot of card singles. You know, you check it out, link down below in the description. We do have our TikTok shop. That's where we sell some really cool Yu-Gi-Oh accessories and sealed products. You know, you could check it out, link down below in the description as well. But then we have our Etsy page. Etsy is where we like to do really crafty projects, and these are fan-made, do-it-yourself projects with like orcas, and we make these 3-card displays that are really nice. Yo, if you guys like stuff like that, check it out, support the shop, you know, help us grow on YouTube. You know, the next step for us on YouTube is to get monetized and be partners with YouTube, because that's only going to help support the shop. So if you like this content and you want to support the shop, even if you don't go to one of our shops, the best thing you can do to help us, hit that subscribe button, like this video, drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think about these market watches, and, you know, even if it's something you might not agree with, you know, we're open to constructive criticism, feedback. You know, we're just here to help the community with what we already do anyway, yo. So yeah, enough for the halftime show. We're gonna talk about Cash Tira Fenrir. This card, I remember, what was it, like a week ago? It was like $11, and I said, y'all, pick this up, pick this up. This card is still hovering, but it's creeping, yo. It's creeping. It does have 12 pages here. Cash Tira cards are getting a little hype, though. I've noticed they got some hype, but this is a very easily splashable engine that could go in a variety of different decks. But even though it hasn't changed but maybe $1 or $2 since a week ago, it is on the upward swing right now. If this card does not get a confirmed reprint in Battles of Legends, you would be happy that you picked it up at this price point. I still say now is a good time to pick this up, yo. Oh yeah, shout out to Hani. Haha, I see you. But yes, no, this card right here, man, I really think this card has upward potential. And then we're going to talk about Theosis. We recently got bought out of these cards. Like, these cards are gone. We don't even have these on our shop anymore. We had these at $9.99, and we see right here on TCG, you know, we're gonna look at some reputable sellers. We got $9.44. Okay, all right. Ours were at $9.99 for both versions, and they're gone. So that just says these cards are in demand. It's only got 4 pages though. Look at that, man. That's just wild to me. But yeah, what happens when we get to page 4, yo? Page 4, high price of $30 plus shipping. This, look at the chart too. This is on the upward trend and it's still going up. It's still climbing the mountain, yo. I think this card is a good one worth offloading. I would not be snatching this up unless you need it to play, of course. But if you're more on the investment side, this is a card that's you're definitely getting your value by offloading this. And then A Bao Q, the Lightless Shadow. This is a card. Look at this, man. Look at this. You can get this card for $20 right now. I think this is a crazy buy-in price. At least just one. Just come through, snatch one of these up, get you some exposure. This is on the bottom word swing of the chart. You know, it's going to have a recovery, though. It's going to have a recovery. Why? Because this card has not been reprinted. I highly doubt with Lordly Load coming in Battle of Legend, they're going to do too much from the same set. That's why I'm saying, like, Ether Barrel and A Bao Q, like, I don't think these cards are going to get reprinted, but that's just solely based on my opinion. And I do see this card if I had a crystal ball and I had to take an educated guess, I think this is a $50 card right here that you can come through, snatch up for $20 right now. Even if you're just getting one copy, just snatch up one just to get some exposure. This card goes to 50, you'll thank me later. And then, of course, we gotta talk about Triple Tactic Thrust, ultra rare from Quarter Century Bonanza. We ain't even gonna talk about the Quarter Century Secret Rare right now. We're gonna talk about the ultra rare. You know, the rarity from Bonanza that was most commonly pulled, ultra rare. Yeah, this card right now, man, why? For an ultra rare, we talking like $12, yo. 12. After tax, you paying 12. Why? I've been saying, and I live by, pick up your hand traps. If you can get them for a good price, get your hand traps, yo. Even if you just put them in your investment binder, your binder to play, like, it don't matter. Bro, just pick up your hand traps because you're gonna need them. You will need these hand traps, whether it's to play or wait for the market swings. You know, this right now is on the low peak, and we're talking an ultra rare for $12. What happens when this recovers on the chart? What happens? Let's look at the data. Just yesterday, oh my God, yes, people were sliding in, just snatching these up because they need them to play. Like, or they're, smart, and they're like, oh, this is too cheap. I think this is too cheap for this card. Like, it sounds wild, $12 for an ultra rare, but when we look at the chart, it's on the downward swing. What happens when it starts to recover? This card could easily be like 17, 20 bucks. That's just me. Pick up your hand traps. We all remember what happened to Triple Tactic Talents before it got reprinted. Or I'm sorry, the ban list where it went to 1. Just hear me out. All right, and then we got Tenpai Dragon Pydra from Legacy of Destruction. I think we only have like one copy of this left. This card just flew, like it went crazy, and right now we see it's on a peak. Right now it's starting to slowly curve back down, but we all know how that works. It could just go back up, keep going. All it takes is a few sales. This only has 6 pages, 6 of them things. Like, that's crazy. I mean, we ain't gonna look at the damage one or heavily played. Let's just look at LP near mint. We're talking like $11 for Pydra. Man, I think I would be offloading this. If I was more, if I was on the other side of things, I would not be picking this up. I would be offloading. This card is a good one to get rid of unless you need it to play. And then we are going to talk about M. Seti, Glory of Horus. This card, you guys, if you need this card to play, you might want to hurry up. And I mean it, because this card has at least $40, $50 potential. All it takes is for the Horus cards to be relevant in the meta, or at least one deck, or see a top, similar to the Sky Striker thing. And this card right here, it's already on the up. Like, this card's been on the up since April, yo. This card is not probably going to go down anytime soon. I mean, we could see a small curvature where it goes down to like 22 maybe. But this card, I think, has like $50 potential. Because why? People need 3 of these things. What happens when they need 3? All these listings start getting ate up. And then that's why we only got 6 pages. This card is good. Boom. We could easily go through like 4 of these pages in a matter of days. Like this card starts getting bought out if people need it. So that's another good one I would keep on your radar. Forbidden Droplets. All of our other rarities of droplets here at Grandpa's Treasure Shop have been just flying like hotcakes. I think we have like only a handful left. Droplets, it is on the up right now, yo. We're talking about the quarter century secret rare. Literally just a month ago, this card was 47-ish dollars. No, now it's 60, yo. I personally think $60 isn't a bad point. I'll come and snatch this at least one. Most people, when they need droplets, they need 3. So guess what? This one listing right here that has 3 quantity, that could just get snatched up by one person who wants their matching rarities. And then what happens? We get to page 3. This card starts going, and we talking like $100 all the way up to $200 for this card. I think the buy-in price right now is too low. If you ask me, I personally think this is way too low. I really hope you guys hear me out on this. It sounds ridiculous because $60 for this QCR. But yo, Rarity Collection 1, people have been saying this is the best Rarity Collection. I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest, but they could be right because look at what's happening with the market. All these Rarity Collection 1 QCRs are skyrocketing. They've been going up over time, just appreciating like real estate. Like, it's crazy how this market's been working, though. I just think all rarity collections are a good investment if we're talking to QCRs, like QCSR. Like $60, think about this. For future prices, man, I think this is a good price. That's just me. Sure, it's on the upward swing, but what happens when people just keep coming in? It just keeps going up. So that's just my opinion. Next, we're going to talk about another card we've been watching on the Market Watch, Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon from Rage to the Abyss. Like this card, it went up quite significantly, and now it's starting to creep down a little bit. I don't think this is a terrible buy-in price. That's just me. This card probably isn't going to get a reprint anytime in the near future. I mean, best case scenario, we get them in the 10s in like what, August, September. But for now, we got a whole summer ahead of us, and this card could hit like $20-$30. Like, you could pick this card up right now for $10 after tax, probably like $10. Yeah. And what happened? Even just one copy. Like, if you got one copy of this card, I mean, read it. This card says negate the activation. Like, come on, y'all. Anything that says your opponent can't respond or negate. Like, yo, this card does not have a reprint. Like, come through, get some exposure. Snatch one of these up. Just one. You'll thank me later. Then we're going to talk about Silhouette Rabbit. And a few market watches ago, we were talking about the ultimate rare and why it was so cheap. Well, let's look at the secret rare right now. Like, this card, you could get this card for $13. Why is this so close to the ultimate rare? Like, I think both of these cards, the ultimate and the secret, are both good investments because those are the only printings of this card. Well, all it takes is for this card to be decent in the meta. Decent, not even good, but decent. Like, show up in one top at a YCS or even a regional could do it. This card is going to go up. It could be like $20-$30. So the fact that you could just like snatch this up right now for like $12.98, you'll thank me later on this too. All right. And then we're going to talk about the craziness right now with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Ever since they announced Dark Magician support, this card has been going parabolic. We see the chart, it goes all the way up, and then whoop, nothing. Nobody's buying this. Why is nobody buying this? Because we got a lot of time until Dark Magician. But you still can't get this card for less than $50. That's why people ain't buying this. They're like, oh, I got time. I'm going to wait till it goes down. But what happens when it doesn't go down? What happens when another seller comes in and lists this for like $44.99 to be the cheapest seller, and then it just gets snatched up? We're looking at $50 still. Man, people just can't justify buying this Dragoon right now, which I understand, y'all. I understand. I remember we pulled ours out of sealed product. We only had one copy of this. It was hard to pull. But man, I'm telling you, I remember once we pulled it and we price checked everything, this card was like 20 bucks. It was crazy. And I'm just like, there's no way. I don't even want to list this card. Like, this right here is why. Dragoon. Do you think $50 is a good buy-in price? Honestly, if I'm you and I see this price right here, I'll come through and buy one. That's just me. That's just me. You might call me crazy. If you guys already have these cards, sure. It's worth offloading, possibly. But I think personally, this is a good investment card. I think this card right here could hit $100. What happens when all the Dark Magician fans start flooding the market? As we get closer to the support, it gets more hype. Shout out to Konami. And then everybody's like, I need 3 of these or 2, at least 2 minimum. I can't settle with one. I want to have matching rarities. I need 3 of these things. These are gone. These just get ate up quick. And then let's look at page 4. What happens when all the Dark Magician fans come in? We got way more than 4 pages of Dark Magician fans out there. This card could hit $130. So yes, I personally think spend the $50, yo. Just snatch up one of these. Just one, at least. You don't want to be caught paying over $100 for this card. Trust me. Especially if you're trying to play. No. Just bite the bullet, pay the $50, get you one. That's my recommendation. Next, we're gonna talk about Stardust Dragon from the tens. This card right here, I've been saying this card has a lot of potential. It's on the upward swing right now, but I still think this card is too cheap. $6, yo. $6. Sure, there's 10 pages. There's a Wall of China. He got 178 qualities at $6. Man, I think this is a good price. What happens once we get a year out? You know, we just get even further away from dueling heroes. You know, this card is going to be harder to get. And it's a QCSR where people want their matching rarities for Edison format. Like, this card right here, I'm just curious. On page 10, this card could hit $40. We don't want to see that happen, but it's likely. Next, to conclude the market watch, we're going to talk about Millennium Ankh from Infinite Forbidden, yo. I think this card's too cheap. You could get this right here, my local card shop again. You could snatch this up for $7.18 right now. That is just way too cheap if you ask me. I really think so. Like, especially, like, even this card, like, I know I said Ankh is the last card we're going to talk about, but this right here, I think this is too cheap. Bro, it's $10. People need 3 of these for the deck. There's no way. Like, why is this card so cheap right now? It's beyond me. I personally, I've put the team up to a task of, if they see these cards for the whole deck, all of them, like these, just start picking them up, because these cards are too cheap, as well as the Odeon support. Like, these are 2 decks, the Apopus deck and the Exodia deck. I think these are great investments right now, and I personally believe in them. But yes, I just want to thank you all for watching. You know, we're just doing what we would do anyway, but want to find value, give you value with what we're already going to be doing, market watching and things of that nature. If you guys like this content, please subscribe to the channel. You know, it really helps us out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Like the video, let me know down in the comments what you think. You know, we really appreciate that, and we always try to respond to comments when we can. But yeah, until next time, this is Brett from Grandpa's Treasure Shop, going back to the Shadow Realm. Peace.